Welcome back, surf fans. You are watching the Hawaiian Pro stop number 1. The Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. This is QS 10,000 action. Chris Cote here, Strato Wasilewski. This is finals day, and this is it. It's on.
We are on. It's on, and here it is.
Well, no, folks, if you're just joining us, this is not the finals. Although, you're looking at those 4 names on your screen, this could very well be a finals heat. Look at this matchup. Jordy Smith, Italo Ferreira, Sebastian Zietz, and Jadson Andre. Strato, are you kidding me with this foursome in round 5? This is early in the finals day.
A world championship tour heat.
This is incredible.
Actually, 2 of them squished into one, you know.
Jordy Smith, Italo Ferreira, Sebastian Zietz, Jadson Andre. Picking a favorite in this heat, it's got to be tough. You got to think Jordy Smith, so much momentum, championship tour-wise, but Sebastian Zietz was ripping yesterday. We'll see. Can Jordy continue the magic run?
Well, this is his first wave, and you know he came in at a 2.5, I believe, for this wave, trying to keep the board going. Not a lot of rhythm and flow in that wave, so not a lot of major maneuvers either. And this man right here, the passionate one, Jadson Andre. We love to see him out here. And then here's a replay of Jordy Smith's 3-2-3. A little bit better, warming it up, looking a little stronger with the rhythm right there.
So a quick start for Jordy Smith. You see on screen, you'd probably be figuring out, how do I get a good wave out here? Well, just do what this guy did in that last heat. Wiggly Dantas, another dominating performance. He's on the beach now with Ian Fulke.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, Wiggly, incredible heat, put up some great scores, stayed on your feet. How focused are you right now at the Hawaiian Pro?
I'm super focused. I'm coming here to make a good result, and I love Surf Haleiwa. I've been training here a lot with my friend Bernardo, and I'm just ready for anything. And just my board's feeling good. I'm just feeling good. I just want to go there and surf and try to make big turns.
A lot of swell in the water, a lot of current as well. How important is fitness for a day like this where you have to surf 3 or 4 heats into a final?
It's super good when you fit. You just like, you know you're ready. You can paddle. It's super hard to like stay in a position, but when you train, you're just like, okay, I trained for this, so I'm ready. So I start paddle, and try to find a good wave. And the current's so strong there, and the winds just help a lot. The currents like be more strong, but you have to surf in every condition, and just have to find a good wave to make the heat.
Wiggly Dantas fit and ready to rip in the next round. Back up to you guys for live action.
Absolutely, Wiggly Dantas powering through this tough lineup, making it look pretty easy, matching the power of Haleiwa with the power of Wiggly Dantas, that backhand. We had 4 goofy footers in that last heat, Strider.
Goofy, 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 goofy. I love the goofies. But here's a regular footer, Sebastian Zietz. Looking like he's having some fun out there. Found a huge section right there for the drop wall. It almost holds onto it for the completion right there. That would have been a pretty solid layback jam into the pocket. And then there was Jadson Andre coming around the corner. Look at how much warble there is on that face. So having to trust the lump, as we heard one of the Godowskis brothers say, and try and put it together.
He just got clenched at the end of that wave.
Jordy setting up for a nice little whip into the corner right here. Kind of going about 50% for Jordy. I don't know what happened there.
23 to go. Jordy Smith jumps into an early lead. 2.5 and 3.25. Most likely those scores will be erased. We will be taking the top 2 scores.
Go back to
another look back at Jordy Smith.
The other angle that we have the complete ride of. So it gets a nice little cut back into the corner, comes up, a little snap off the whitewater, and then bang for the finish. I feel like Jordy, this is key for him coming into this world title race, which he is definitely a part of, holding on to #1 spot in the Jeep Leader jersey for so long through the year.
Well, look at him again. Back at it. In 4th priority, Jordy Smith finding a little inside section, and that's what you call absolute destruction. Jordy Smith terrorizing the inside bowl.
So back to that conversation, gaining momentum, getting confidence, You can go to worldtitlerace.com to check out the scenarios. Julian Wilson, Jordy, Gabriel, and our man John Florence, who's in #1 spot right now. But look at how well he does on this wave. That first turn, beautiful hook, and then drops the hammer on the inside power hook for the drop wallet layback snap. I mean, now that right there, my friend, is so fun to do, and you got to be on point with your timing, so critical and to see him kind of stepping it up and getting more comfortable. If he can build confidence going into the Pipe Masters, if he can have a couple of great events here he is on finals day, right? Giving him confidence. If he can get some more out of Sunset, that big frame on those big walls, getting some big hooks, coming into Pipeline with confidence, we could see him get on a roll, weave some backdoor barrels, get a couple of big pipe bombs under his belt. He could be right in the race.
Definitely in the running for the Vince Triple Crown of Surf as well. WSLTitleRace.com. Lock it in. Check it out. A lot of cool information on there from both the men's and women's side. The women, one of the tightest races we've ever seen. 5 surfers in the conversation fighting for a world title. 20 minutes, 40 seconds ago, Jordy Smith's last wave comes through a 5.67, really on the strength of that brutal finishing maneuver. Here we go, Jadson Andre. Jadson has created some miracles over here, and there's a quickie. It's that air reverse. Complete with the grab. Somehow this wave just keeps offering him sections. Still going, solid finish, Jadson Andre.
That was, his board to start looked like he had a motor on it.
Right behind him, Italo Ferreira, one of the most explosive surfers on the championship tour. Just a nice big back-to-back S-turn situation going on, and Sebastian Zietz now getting involved. Big power hack. Opts out. Loved that turn from Sebastian Zietz. What a exchange. 11 minutes into this heat, this guy's unleashed arsenal. Each one of these surfers has a different strength. Of course, all 4 of these guys will go to the air if given the opportunity. Let's take a look at Jadson Andre. I mean, this wave was just nothing, and then all of a sudden...
It looks like he's got a motor on his surfboard, and he comes around and he opts for the left. It gets the blowtail 3 out of it, and then comes in, clicks it off the top right there, and then he's like, wait, I'm not done yet. Throws it up for a little climb, and then realizes there's a finish on this thing. Bang! Throws the tail up over the lip again for a solid run out the end there. So Jaddy Baby going up above the lip right here, blowing the fins up high over the head, tweaks it out.
I think that's a super brand Mad Cat designed by Clay Marzo. Maybe that's giving him some sharpness to get through this wind condition. Sebastian Zietz now. These guys, they got the memo. It's time. No 50% surfing at this stage of the game, knowing full well that, I mean, this, for all intents and purposes, is their final.
That was really fun to watch, too, that attack of that lip section by Jadson Andre. So fun to see him go above it. And then this one right here, this first turn, hook right there. Beautiful. That last part of it is so important to define your turn, and that means to complete your corner, push that thing out. Sebastian Zietz, a quick whip off the top right there, comes into the corner, nice off the lip, combos it up with a cutback into the whitewater. So all surfers riding, flowing, feeling it. Feel like Jordy Smith kind of coming up with the short end of the stick right now on the actual exchanges, because I
think he got a little too busy at the beginning of this heat.
Well, actually, he's sitting on a 5.67 and a 4.67. Seabass sitting on a couple of 4s, so not too bad. But Italo dropping a pretty solid score too.
Something is telling me that this heat, you're gonna have to have 8 to make it through this thing. I mean, these guys are all throwing it down now. Italo's first big score comes through, a 6.67, and I think that was all flow. You know, he really didn't get a lot of opportunities to go crazy into the lip, but he just had a lot of flow through his maneuvers. A couple big snaps, a solid finish, a 6.67, and this will be his second wave that he'll keep for now.
Quick whip on the backhand, and you know, it's really hard to judge Italo because you watch what his board does, and it's crazy. And he does it in succession. He's so quick at it. The body doesn't move a whole lot, so you really got to watch the board.
Watch the board. 16:30 to go. A lot of people very excited about the prospects of this young surfer coming up next. Ian Folke talking about Joshua Moniz.
That's right, guys. I'm down here on the beach in the competitors area, and the beach has filled up. Everyone is here for finals day, and not only on the beach, but also in the competitors area. We have Josh Moniz just to my left here warming up, and Josh has done an incredible job to make it this far, but he still has a lot of work cut out for him. But the good thing is Josh Moniz travels in a clan, the Moniz clan. They're right up in the competitors area. Brother Seth, I see him up there, surfed earlier in the event, unfortunately didn't make it, but he's still here to cheerlead for Josh. And you got the legend Tony Moniz, mother to all surfers who come to Hawaii, Tammy Moniz, Reynos Hayes is coach, and the whole crew is here to support Josh. So he's coming up in the next heat. He's got a lot of good mojo going his way. We'll see what happens, and hopefully grab him for a post-heat interview after.
Well, you just got to witness firsthand Jordy Smith almost pulling the miracle snap. Meanwhile, Sebastian Zietz with the lead foot grab rail carve. Nobody does that like Sebastian Zietz. That is a thing of brutal beauty to see him lay into that big carving turn, hand on the rail, pulling the board toward him.
He won the Western Australia event with that turn against Julian Wilson.
I could watch that turn all day.
So fun.
Here goes Italo Ferreira. You know he's looking for a ramp. Starts it off with a big snap, straight back into the lip. Full attack mode from Italo. 2 snaps, he likes it. This is a heat, folks. Surf fans got to be fired up for this one. All surfers now again dropping scores.
Honestly, I think we're 2 of those surf fans, right? It's so fun.
Right now.
Here we go. Awesome. Seabass grabs the rail, big carve down into the bowl. Click off the whitewater there, trying to clean up the inside. Not much on hand for that, so he's going to get out of it, but pretty solid first turn. And then the big fella, Jordy Smith. It's a quick cutback, kind of riding the line of the wave, and then blasts it off the top, comes unstuck, and almost comes back into it. So see his board is above the lip, and then he pushes off with a lump and the backwash. And you know what? He's still attached to his board right there. His feet are on it. Then the wave comes from behind him, pushes him up. He almost stands back up. He's still there, looking for a completion. Cannot ride out of it, though. It's going to be deemed incomplete by the judges.
Almost an early Hail Mary for Jordy Smith. He is in the lead with a 4.67 and a 5.67. That lead is precarious. Here goes Jadson Andre. He's sitting on a 6.77. Almost loses on his bottom turn. Regains composure, bam, straight in the lip, kicks the tail out. Jadson Andre now answering back. And he is not one to leave fruit on the vine, ripping this wave all the way to the beach. Jadson with his 5th turn, brutalistic.
How on point
surfing.
How on point does he look? He's just timing, he's just all the little muscles firing, and the board placement, just everything perfect from Jadson Andre.
You know, he is a guy that sometimes suffers in the flow portion, but he's not doing that right now. He's linking his maneuvers
So
nicely.
the bottom turn a little off, but then comes up into the lip range and just blasting tail right there. Another hook. And then the board speed right here keeps it flowing back into the power pocket, and then goes back to work off that little whitewater section. A couple of clicks to finish. Jadson, he's psyching out there. Looks like
a Huntington Beach special.
Big score about to drop for Italo Ferreira.
Wow, an 8.93, the highest single wave score of this heat. Italo goes from 3rd to 1st.
I would love to see.
Just like that.
Let's see a replay of that wave, because highest score of the heat so far. Here it is, off the bottom, straight up into the lip, slams it. Comes falling out of the sky, right into another one. Just blasts it around, falls out of the sky again. So a 2-turn combo, gives it the fist pump, and gets an 8.93.
You know, that was pure precision and power, linking both those maneuvers, so getting the flow And I wholeheartedly agree with that score. It was well into the excellent range. Aggressive, vertical, exciting. That's what we want to see. That's what the judges want to see. It's on, folks. 11:50 to go. You're watching a super heat. Stay tuned. More action to come from the Hawaiian Pro. Lightning is striking at Haleiwa. This heat, full of electricity. 10.5 to go here in round 4. Heat number 5, Italo Ferreira jumps into the lead and he's back at it. This was during the break. Chris Cote with Strider Wasilewski. And Italo started quiet, but man, he is surfing loud.
The big fella had himself a little floater during the break into a nice little snap back into the corner. Not a lot of intensity. Oh, that was a sick layback hack right there. Not gonna get the completion though. That's, you got to ride out of those, and that would have been a much higher score if he did, because that finish was strong.
Well, if you blinked, you missed. Jordy Smith with a really strong start, but then Italo and Sebastian Zietz have flipped the script. Sebastian Zietz, his last wave comes through a 7-1-0 on the strength of a powerful rail grab carve. Jadson Andre, on the other hand, a lot of maneuvers on the wave. Nothing crazy on the outside. And, you know, he basically just kind of hit it all the way through to the beach, and the judges want to see, they'd rather see a couple big maneuvers than 4 okay maneuvers. Top 2 surfers will advance into the next round. We're taking the best 2 waves. Of course, priority is in place. Sebastian Zietz is out the back with priority. This heat is not disappointed, has it?
No, it's been super fun to watch, and seeing the tactics. You see Jordy on the inside.
Jordy Smith coiling up, goes to the air. And he makes it. Blasting a near complete 540, Jordy Smith. Coming out of nowhere.
Fun to watch the replay of this too, because you're gonna see the board and the position where he lifts off, how the board goes into the air, where the fins are above his head, and you get to really see the fundamentals and the little nuances of doing the Air 3. Watch his bingo, just tail up high, whips it around, grab for stability, and then lets go in the whitewater to clean it up. Swings the momentum up off the lip, pushes it around, moves the foot up front, grabs. It's just all the elements that play into doing these maneuvers. There's so much going on.
Seabass going vertical in his forehand. Speaking of a hard turn to do, a frontside vertical snap is an underrated maneuver. That was one of the hardest things to do in surfing and make look good. Seabass just did that, unfortunately for him. Only a 1 maneuver wave. The wave just kind of died off in front of him.
Well, he got a 7-1-0 for that big frontside rail grab gouge down into the bowl.
Well, that was exactly what the judges had talked about this morning of big surfing. You know, it was a big extended turn using the whole face of the wave. So that's the why he was rewarded for that 7-1-0. Jordy Smith with a 6-6-3 in his last wave. So he's back in the picture now in second place. Sebastian Zietz drops to third. Jadson Andre down at fourth. 7 minutes, 18 seconds ago. Your leader, Italo Ferreira, in priority. And I mean, that's a great example of What a nightmare it is to stay in position out here.
Well, the fun thing about this is, okay, yeah. If
it's fun for us to watch, but not fun to do that.
If you paddle for a wave, you lose priority. Well, these guys are literally riding
chops
waves in the channel because of the current just to stay in position out there. I mean, fun fact, those aren't actually waves that they're paddling for. They're just like river wakes almost that they're actually just riding to stay in position. So fun to watch these guys having to do all the work in between the waves, keeping an eye on the priority, keeping an eye on their competitors, keeping an eye on the sets, keep an eye on their position in the channel, and then they have to perform.
You'd have to be a pretty strong, physically and strong-willed person to paddle out there and stay in the takeoff zone. A person like myself, you get to the outside here, you get blown down the line, you're coming and you're walking up the beach, start over. Here goes Sebastian Zietz, ramp hunting, finds it. Not a good wave for Sebastian Zietz. Wave selection, critical. 5 minutes, 53 seconds to go. We are in round 5 here. This is heat number 4. And we got 4 surfing superstars putting on a show, Strider.
Great quick surfing right there from Italo Ferreira. That got him started in this heat with a 6.67. Sebastian Zietz 7.10 for that big gouge into the corner. And a lot of movement. You know, we're seeing all the surfers. This was a solid, excellent range score right here. Straight up through the lip. Tail busting free bit right there. And then again with a pivot and a free fall drop for an 8.93. And then the big man, Jordy, takes to the air, whips it almost complete 6.63. So in the free surfs, this guy just crazy highlight reel. Starting to do it in his heats. That's when you become a threat. Seen it all year out of Jordy. Let's see if he can come back, battle back, swing for the fences. There's your scoring criteria, 5 judges. Scoring on a scale of 0 to 10. Highest and lowest thrown out. 2 best scores equal your heat total.
It's almost surprising to me that Jordy Smith has never won a Triple Crown. He's that good. He's gotten the Triple Crown Rookie of the Year. Here goes Italo Ferreira. Spark.
Speaking of laser focus, this guy is just out of control. And you know that whole Triple Crown talk and nobody winning all 3 in 1 year? Andy Irons was the closest out of anybody.
2 in 1 year. So
he won 2 events, and then I think he got second at the Pipe Masters in that same year. He was literally moments away.
2006. Jadson Andre. Now he's putting together big maneuvers, knowing that the 3 to the beach kind of tactic is not going to get him the scores he needs. He goes straight up in the lip, adding power. Now we see a paddle battle come into play. Ooh, feisty. Again, it doesn't matter what flag is next to your name. When you go out and do a heat, it's every man for himself. Italo Ferreira out in the lead, Jordy Smith in second, Sebastian Zietz in third. Italo's going to drop another solid score. So Jordy Smith, he was Triple Crown Rookie of the Year in 2006. That same year, Andy Irons bookended with 2 big wins.
Paddle battle. So the surfers ride the waves consecutively. All surfers paddle back to an established takeoff zone. The first surfer to reach that zone is awarded priority. So these 2 guys trying to get back into the lineup first.
Jordy Smith on a medium, frothy once, big start, comes off the bottom, extended. Super floater for Jordy Smith. I like when these guys go snap, float, combo, like Jordy Smith just did. And you can tell, I mean, there is a lot of electricity moving through the water. All these surfers want it. Sebastian Zietz now in 4th place, up and out.
I want to get back to that paddle battle. Italo was way behind him. Then it switched out. Sorry, back to Jordy with the quick replay right here. Off the bottom, snaps off the top. Nice milky face on this, allowing him to do some maneuvers. Lip line float. drops off the ceiling, kind of snapped into the float line you were talking about, and then lifted off. And then there's Jadson Andre. So Italo and Jadson Andre were having a paddle battle.
And Italo won.
And Italo looked like he was behind him, and then all of a sudden he just turned on the afterburners, or Jadson got kind of worked in the toilet bowl section, and Italo found his way around the outside of it and got priority.
Well, a minute 43 to go. Now we're waiting for scores for Jordy Smith. Currently sitting in third place, needs a 5.78. Sebastian Zietz, he's got your second highest scoring wave, a 7.10. Has yet to find a backup. Looking for a 5.3, so definitely in a dangerous position. A minute 20 to go. Did Jordy Smith do what he needed to get a 5.78? There's no way, I mean, regardless of who makes it out of the seat, you can't call it an upset because every one of these guys has the ability to make the finals today. So now Jadson Andre, who's in second place, he's not going to hear this as he rides this wave. Jordy Smith with a 6.10, gets what he needs. Now Jadson hears it. He's got to get himself back out there. Here's your leader, Italo Ferreira. There's the stall, looking for the ramp. Setting himself up, goes for the quick back three. Power slide to pop shove. Skate fans are psyching right now. That was amazing. I love that. It's not going to be a huge score, but
riding out of it, it was really fun to watch. I mean, you think about it, how many different directions that surfboard just went.
So 360 power slide, pop shove it combo.
Yeah.
You're not going to see that a lot.
You're not going to see that a lot. And riding out of it for a completion, a little awky, but it was pretty solid, you know, to ride out of it.
The skateboarder in me says that's my favorite wave of this contest, but the surfer in me says you got to go to the power if you want to advance through. And Jordy Smith did just that. Big power arc, snap floater to get that 6.10. He advances through by the skin of his teeth, along with Italo Ferreira, Jadson Andre, Sebastian Zietz go down. More surfing to come. You're watching the Hawaiian Pro. Stay tuned.
I'm Joshua Moniz. We're here at the Vans Triple Crown, and this is the GoPro Break Breakdown. I'll leave us a little hidden down the point on the North Shore. We're on the lower side of this, like what we call the 7 Mile Miracle. Typically when you got the normal size, when it's like 4 to 6 feet, you have the right that you sit off the rec center, which the locals call, and then you have the end section that's called the toilet bowl, and that's like the end bonus section. Sometimes it gets too heavy to hit, so you have to dodge it, but during an event you always have to just go for it no matter what. the one good thing that when it's small, at least there's 2 peaks out there. So you can get a little bit tricky with priority, and if you're under them, kind of move around. So you're gonna see a lot of like very exciting, like high performance surfing.
Historically speaking, the Hawaiian Pro has been absolutely dominated by Hawaiian surfers. 15 past champions from right here in the Hawaiian Islands. Joshua Moniz representing Hawaii. Will he make it 16? Got a tough heat in front of him. Maxime Puchino, William Cardoso, and Michael Rodriguez. Right off the buzzer, surfer in green, Michael Rodriguez. This was a 4.67. This guy means business.
A little cutty back into the corner. Finds himself a nice little snap right there. And then finishes on the inside with not a whole lot, but a great warm-up wave.
And then a big score coming through for Joshua Moniz, a 7.17.
Finding the corner right there. Let's see what he does on the inside. Gets one big bang off the end. So big score right there for Moniz. And here comes an even bigger one for Maxime Husnell from France. Coming around the corner, Slambo. Are you kidding me? Wow, that was really great surfing. I mean, solid. Look at him, he's up again on a replay, snaps it into the lip, means business. Maxime, he's been just pounding away, but look at this turn right here, slams it into the corner. Perfect board positioning. Weightlessness comes down with it.
Now, you know,
that was the tail end of that first ride. That was really great surfing.
Maxime was a former World Junior champion. From then, toiling. I don't want to say in relative obscurity, but I'm telling you, this guy is one of the most underrated surfers on the QS. 25:30 to go. Rosie Hodges on the beach with a guy who just power blasted his way through this Haleiwa lineup, Italo Ferreira.
He's an animal and so much fun to watch. Italo coming into this event, 14th on the QS rankings. Start of the day, you're already 11th. You know, you've got some options with qualification, 25th on the CT. It's a lot to think about, but are you looking for a requalification here on the QS and then alleviate the pressure going into pipe?
I don't know. I just try to catch a lot of waves and having fun, you know, because this is my focus right now. And I have a good chances on the CT and the QS too, but I'm just looking for good hits and try to do my best, yeah.
And another heat with your good friend Jadson Andre. Are those ones hard?
Oh yeah, it's so hard to compete against Jadson, you know, against Jordy and Tibas too, but Jadson is my good friend, you know, and the last wave I say, now go in this one, go the next one, and then he go in the first wave, and then, yeah, he didn't get score anymore. But yeah, I'm so sad about Jadson, but I think he's a good competitor, you know, and he got a good score in Sunset, I think, and yeah, good bless you, Jetty.
And you know, notice that on finals day, 14 Brazilians still left in the draw. Notice that you guys, you know, travel in a crew, a lot of support. That's got to feel good to have, you know, so many people backing you here on the beach.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun, you know, back to Hawaii and get all the support, all the guys here, and especially the Brazilian guys coming too, because Gabriel is maybe got the world title, I think, and yeah, it's so fun, you know, because I have a lot of support here, and all the Brazilian too, and the Hawaiian. It's so special.
It's low. Well done. We'll see you in the quarterfinals. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rosie. Italo Ferreira.
Couple of
blasting through that last heat.
Big scores for Italo. Great surfing.
Joshua Moniz setting it up from the outside. I don't think Italo felt bad when he was paddling Jadson from inside to outside, but hey, that's the game here. 4 surfers enter, only 2 surfers advance through. And I think now we have Italo's pick for who he thinks is going to be world champion at the end of the Billabong Pipe Masters. We will see.
Replay right here. Joshua Moniz, one of the local surfers still in the event. A couple of carves back into the section, does a nice little foam climb maneuver there to finish out. Nothing amazing, but definitely running some fun waves. There we go with Rodriguez. And he's going to do a couple of cuts into the corner. It looks like he's surfing with a little bit of pressure. Rodriguez, knowing he's so close to the dream. But it does look like he's kind of almost pulling back a little bit on the gas pedal. What do you think?
Don't freak out now, man.
I know, this is the
Come
time.
on, Rodriguez.
Get rid of those
Hold
nerves.
steady.
Put the hammer down. Show the authority. You're going to come up with mid-range scores. If you don't, we saw a couple of big scores get dropped right off the bat. So Joshua Moniz got a 7.17, and Maxime Husnet with a 7.83. Only, you know, just over half a point, right? Just kind of separating those two rides.
So with 21:58 to go, new era qualifying series rankings. We are losing some big names, some top players on the new era qualifying series men's rankings. We had Jesse Mendez, Kanoa Igarashi, and Yago Dora all in this contest, all looking good, now all out. William Cardoso, who's in this heat right now, is sitting at 4th. And he basically got the news yesterday, an emotional heat for William Cardoso. He's on. So your top 4 are officially qualified for the championship tour. Tomas Hermes.
He'll be coming up.
Just needs to make one heat. So the biggest heat of his year coming up. So William Cardoso confirmed 2018 championship tour rookie. So if he's already been on the championship tour, do you get to be a rookie twice?
Sounds like it. Why not?
Cool.
A new era, William Cardoso, rookie.
Requalified rookie.
Requal rook.
Rookie asterisk.
He's out there paddling in the current. You can see him waiting for his first ride. No rides on the board. All of his competitors having rides. Two standouts, Joshua and Maxime, catching the better waves of the heat so far.
William, you know, we're used to hearing his name on the championship tour, but he was actually an injury replacement. So technically wasn't on, although he has competed a lot on the CT level. So he is officially a new era rookie. Great job. Now the tough part for him is get out of celebration mode and get back into business mode. He has yet to catch a wave 11 minutes in.
He's a happy camper no matter what the result here. But why not continue your campaign and win yourself a Hawaiian Pro?
I mean, winning the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing would be a great way to finish what could potentially be the best year of his competitive career, 2017.
Which is a great point. Do really well here. Do really well at Sunset. Be in contention for the #1.
Get yourself in the Billabong Pipe Masters Invitational.
Are you kidding me? That would be the ultimate way to finish your year. Going up against the world's best out at Pipeline.
Well, winning the Vans Triple Crown is like becoming a doctor, right? No matter what. Once you become a doctor, you're always known as Dr. Wasilewski. For these guys, you win the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing, Vans Triple Crown winner, Strider Wasilewski.
That's a good ring to it, huh?
I mean, I'd rather have the VTS crown than the doctor in front of the name. I mean, that is an illustrious group.
Well, either way, I think that these guys are all out there with one thing on their mind, and that is to win this heat.
Get a good wave.
Get through. Let's do this.
Takes
More
two
points.
waves. It takes 2. It's crazy. 2 waves, but you got to get big numbers on each one of those waves. Joshua Moniz bucking Bronco into this wave. Now he goes up in the lip. This wave was messy from the get-go. Cleans it up at the end. Looking to replace 4.73 or a 7.17. I think I'll be holding on to those 2 numbers for now. 18:20 to go. It's going to be Maxime Husnet. Surfer from France. Big carving snap right back into the whitewater. Eyeing this section down the line. Goes to the layback. Complete control for this young Frenchman. Again, dude is underrated.
I think he's a great surfer. He's showing a lot of poise and power.
I've seen him do crazy airs too.
Yeah. There's a replay of Mr. Moniz broncoing into this thing. Not a very clean first section, and then just gets a little tap off the next one, so it's not going to be a big score for him. And then you had Maxime coming into this one, quick snap on that, and then follows it up with a finish on the inside corner. Yeah, mid-range kind of score for him too, because the finish there was a quick click into the lip. But the warble of the water out there, really hard to define a really clean maneuver off the end, a closer.
17 minutes, 10 seconds ago, Maxime Houchenot gets the score, jumps into the lead. You know who's winning? Everybody who's here on the beach today. What a day. It's Monday. Ian Folke right in the crowd. What's up, Folke?
Hey guys, yeah, everyone down on the beach is winning. Hawaii continues to provide a Haleiwa Beach Park for the Hawaiian Pro. We've got at least a couple thousand people on the beach, as you can already see, and it's filling up by the minute for finals. People love finals day. We touched on it in the last heat that there's a big support crew for the local surfers like Josh Moniz, but we got friends all the way from Louisiana here checking us out on the beach. This crew right here, they're absolutely loving the action, and all the locals as well coming down on a Monday. So I'm wondering if anyone has jobs or goes to school anymore, guys.
I don't think so.
Not during the Triple Crown.
Yeah, when it's finals day, they come down to check it out, and you know, it's a great environment. You get to come down and feel the vibe and the energy of the environment, right? The waves, the wind, the sun. You get the competitors coming by. You get that, you know, energy, the electricity of them, even when they pass by you.
Birthday boy, Patrick Godowskis. The best present he could ever ask for would be to make the finals of this event, put him one step closer towards qualification. Joshua Moniz now carving through the mid portion of this Haleiwa wall, looking for the big finish. Takes to the air. Cannot ride out. And right behind him, Maxime Houchenot again, who's looking like he is in a solid cycle, goes for the massive punt. Disengaged, goes down.
That was unfortunate for Joshua on that wave to go down, because he was really on his way to a big score right there. And I love that he went for it, and if he could have pulled that down, he would have had an excellent ride. Either way, he's going to get a pretty good score. You can see him coming off the bottom, throws it up into the lip, right? That was a really late to the party maneuver, but he made it look really good.
Live action. Michael Rodriguez blown out the top of that wave. He goes down. Now you see the urgency coming. Everybody knows full well. A 4 is not going to do you any favors. Your backup score needs to be at least 6.
Yeah, he needs
7.
to get some solid waves under his belt, Rodriguez, because he's sitting on a couple of 4s. He needs to get a 7 just to get into that number 2 spot. So he's got work to do.
Cardoso's even.
There is a lot of time on the clock still.
Cardoso's still at the celebration party.
Goose egg.
14:30 to go. We're going to take a quick break. Joshua Moniz, can he hold on, or will Maxime Houchenot take the win? You're going to have to stay tuned to find out. You're watching the Hawaiian Pro. Welcome back, surf fans. You're watching the Hawaiian Pro QS 10,000 action here at Ali'i Beach Park, Haleiwa, the gateway to the north shore of Oahu. Round 4, heat 6. As it stands now, Maxime Houchenot could be pulling a major upset. He's got under 13 minutes to fend off Joshua Moniz, Michael Rodriguez, and Willian Cardoso.
Oh, did you see that paddle right there from Joshua Moniz? Had priority. That's tough. There goes Papa Bear, Tony Moniz up in the stands, sitting next to Benji Brand. And that was an interesting situation. He's going to slide back to third priority. That's not good for him. Leaving Michael Rodriguez, he's still in fourth position on the priority, but so he's the danger man for him. See how he paddled for that wave and he could not get into it.
So that means the minute he start the first stroke of intent, priority judge looking at him, second stroke, boom, you move to the bottom of the line. If you try to catch a wave and it's obvious that you're actually going for it, your priority will be stripped. So Josh Moniz drops from, I believe, first to third priority. And you would say that's a priority error, because anytime you paddle, I mean, that's as good as standing up on the wave as far as priority goes. We'll see if it comes back to haunt it. For now, safe. Willian Cardoso is surfing at a different spot. We will yet to see Willian take off on a wave. And let me ask you this, Strider. We've been talking about all day, it's every man for himself when they put the jersey on and paddle out. Is there a chance Willian Cardoso is pulling for his homie, Michael Rodriguez?
Great point right there. Great point. And there you have the Spartan, Michel Perez. He's checking himself out on the screen. He's going to get warmed up for his heat.
All business behind the scenes.
I like the point you just made there, though, Chris. Is Willian just kind of hanging back and letting Mr. Rodriguez to try and find a wave out there?
I mean, it has to be tough to come back into contest mode after, you know, what is a life-changing moment. Yesterday, getting the word.
Or just trying to give it to your friend, that life-changing moment as well.
The more the merrier when it comes to getting your friends on tour, but surfing like that's not going to get you on tour. But Michael Rodriguez goes down.
Coming off right now for Michael Rodriguez. Get out the wrench, tighten those bolts, get back to work, my friend. Rodriguez, you got 10 minutes left. You can do this. But he's got Moniz and Huzna out there just absolutely terrorizing, so it's going to be hard. Definitely. He only needs a 7.04. Rodriguez is a surfer that can do that.
100%. I mean, he could do that with one turn. Seen him do it. He's got the arsenal. Now he just needs the target. Needs to find a wave, some open face, so he can unleash that big carving turn that's gotten him to this point. Highly ranked from the New Era QS rankings. Shout out to Matt Ramirez from New Era, watching all the way from Buffalo, New York.
How about that move?
So with 9:40 to go, the Hawaiian Pro, a QS 10,000. Huge points on the line for our surfers.
All right, so we are in round 4 right now, and those points will definitely benefit those in this round on their score line.
Maxime Houchino, major priority error, gets blown off this board. That was a terrible wave. And obviously a different view from right there on the peak. Just a total closeout. Goes down, now drops to fourth priority. Here's your points by round. In round 1, you're hurt. 200 points, 180 points. But as you get on through this event into finals day, round 4, 2,300 points, solid. You make the quarterfinals, things start to really increase, and then things start to double throughout. Semifinals, 5,300 points. That's pretty much a quarter of the way to qualification. 10,000 points, that's halfway to qualification, Strider. 20,000 points is really what you're looking for to be safe. A win in the QS 10,000 will get you halfway onto the championship tour. You guys are struggling for the past 5 minutes out here.
They are. They're all struggling to find the right wave. And can you imagine being Rodriguez right now? You got 8 minutes left. You're just trying to find yourself a little wave that you can do some damage on. You only need a 7. You've been getting 7s all year. The type of surfing he's been doing. And pretty much the wheels have flown off. He's gotten out the wrench. He's tightened back the bolts. He's got all 4 tires back on the car. He just needs to get the green light into a wave. so he can hit the corner with full speed.
7.5 to go. Willian Cardoso is just out there smiling, thinking, I've already made the tour. I'm feeling good. He needs to remember, there's still a lot at stake here.
I know, I'll be honest, if he's actually, if he's trying, yeah, he's been paddling, he's been in the zone. He hasn't really been in, we haven't seen him in position for a good wave yet, you know? There's Felipe Toledo and his dad Ricardo getting ready for their heat. And I say there because Felipe and Ricardo are both in the heat together at all times. You can always see him and hear him from the grandstands.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Could be a major upset. Unless you're Maxime Houchino, who's in the lead. Joshua Moniz in second, Rodriguez in third. Clinging to any hopes of qualification. He needs a 7.04. Willian Cardoso comboed. He's just on a scenic cruise of the Haleiwa Current. Kind of weird, hasn't caught a wave. That's weird.
Yeah, it is a little bit, but maybe messing up the flow of the heat for his man, you know, Rodriguez, who, if it would have just been into the normal flow, maybe he would have been on a couple of different waves. You just never know what's going to happen in a heat. There goes the crew. Tammy Moniz up there behind her son, behind her. Tony Moniz and Tammy, 4 o'clock today. You know what she'll be doing? Ukulele lessons over at the Billabong house.
It's quite common to see parents not sitting right next to each other. There's some separation. You get very tense, I'm sure, watching your own kid compete. Maxime Houchino.
I feel like there's
fail. Oh, look who came. Willian Cardoso shows up for his heat. Quick turn. Nice snap. Doesn't look too involved right now, does he? I like the second turn. Cool.
Pretty lackadaisical through the beginning, but then he saw that section and he could not refrain from just slamboing that thing up into the lip.
Judges are unimpressed. It's going to come through most likely, yeah, 2.8. One turn. Willian Cardoso resting on his qualification laurels, if you will.
Well, this thing started out with a bang, and then this thing just went to sleep.
The last 10 minutes has been a slide. But we got 4.5 to go. Maxime Houchino in the lead. Josh Moniz in second. Not safe. Michael Rodriguez needs a 7.04. We started this heat with fireworks. Let's take a look. Your heat recap, starting with Joshua Moniz.
It's a little snap out the back, kind of uncontrolled, and then finishes with that tap right there. Gets a 7.17. Then was Maxime's turn. Quick little cut back into the corner, and then throws it up into the lip line. I mean, attacks it. Christmas trees, buckets, lip line, then free falls, reconnects, pulls it out. Serious section of consequence. Maxime backs it up on the inside with the drop wallet. Kicks the tail out a bit there for a 5.93.
So there's always an underdog story in the Hawaiian Pro, in the Vans World Cup. The Vans Triple Crown of Surfing has a way of exposing these underdogs that, you know, they come here meaning business. Maxime Houchino right now is in that position. In past couple of years, Wade Carmichael came from relative obscurity to become a perennial threat in the Vans Triple Crown.
Maxime down in 52nd position right now on the WQS.
Michael Rodriguez surfing for a 7.04. Not the wave that's going to do it. Get out of that wave. Get back into the zone. Do not waste time. You're coming up to the 2-minute drill, Michael. Get yourself back into position. There's still a chance. I'm stressing, Strider.
Well, rightfully so. Not a lot of time left. Maxime Husseneau down in 52nd. Even if he won this contest, he'd be at 14,840 points.
Three-quarters of the way there.
Still not there, though.
Three-quarters of the way.
He's going to have a big finish over at Sunset as well to back it up.
2 minutes, 25 seconds to go. Josh Moniz now in priority.
There is light at the end of the tunnel for all of these surfers who are, in the event.
One more chance.
One more chance.
After this. Well, with each heat, we know the points go up. So does the prize money. And now we're down to the 2-minute warning. Round 4, heat 6. Husseneau in the lead. Josh Moniz in a precarious second place position. Does have priority. That's in his favor. Looking to the beach. So we see surfers kind of creeping in from the next heat. That shows you how strong the current is. These guys are trying to stay out of the way, but they are getting sucked right into the zone. Maxime Husseneau has second priority. I'd love to talk to Willian Cardoso after this heat, just to find out what's
what was going on in his head out there.
What are you doing? He fell asleep at the wheel.
Just caught one wave. It's crazy. You're on a path right now.
I mean, again, that's another storyline. He could be helping Michael Rodriguez.
Yeah, he needs a lot of help because, you know what? Even if he does some crazy air right here, that's not it,
Well, he
needs more. He's going to have to find himself on the better waves, and he has not done that throughout this entire heat.
The last 3 waves he surfed have been absolute duds. Here goes Willian Cardoso, second wave. He's thinking, Michael, you're blowing it. I'm taking this thing back.
I've given you enough room to move.
Kung Fu Panda,
He's
2018 Championship Tour rookie. Get ready for him, world. 35 seconds to go. Maxime Husseneau. Don't call him an underdog. He's come to take your title. Joshua Moniz in second place. One of 4 surfers from the Hawaiian region left in competition. All right, make us eat our words. Michael Rodriguez still needing a 7.04. Snap. He's going left. Well, he's going the right direction towards Sunset Beach for the next event. Michael Rodriguez goes down, third place. A tough loss for a surfer in contention. Flip side of that, Maxime Husseneau taking the win, along with Hawaiian surfer Joshua Moniz. More surfing to come from the Hawaiian Pro. Round 4, heat 7 coming up. Pete Mel and Kaipo Guerrero. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Hawaiian Pro here at Haleiwa, and we're at finals day. Heat number 7, round number 4, the round of 32. We got Felipe Toledo in this, Michel Perez, Patrick Gudauskas, and Stuart Kennedy. Pete Mal, Surf Scholar, your take so far on the action today?
Well, as expected, the surfing has lifted. You know, the conditions have been staying kind of similar to what we saw yesterday. You know, I was a little trying to understand what happened to William, because he was one of the standouts. All of a sudden, he just disappeared in that last heat.
Well, maybe a little celebration. Who knows? He's on the championship tour 2018. You know, Kung Fu Panda. We're going to have a great new nickname. Right now, we have a great heat in the water with Felipe Toledo, Michel Perez, Patrick Gudauskas. Is important heat for qualification for Patrick Gudauskas as well as Stuart Kennedy.
Well, you look through the storylines here. Felipe safe on the championship tour, looking for a Triple Crown title. He is competing in all 3 events, and he is going to get that quick start. As you watched yesterday, put on an excellent performance. Let's see if he can keep that up and if not lift it. And by the looks of what he's been able to do, you know, there's an interesting, he talked about the equipment here. There's a board that he's had for a while. All of a sudden, duty called. It felt right for Hawaii, brought it here to Hawaii, and that thing looks amazing under his feet.
Sure does a little bit of a step up. It's a Sharp Eye surfboard, round pin, and it's been working well with Felipe Toledo, who seems to just dance on water. Patrick Gudauskas here. And Patty G is going to go complete on his opening wave. Not quite. I jinxed him right at that last second. I thought he was going to ride out of it.
Big happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
To Patrick Gudauskas and twin brother Dane.
That's right.
So they're celebrating today, and let's hope that this day is a good one for Patrick Gudauskas, because he is on that cut line, wanting so badly to be back on the championship tour. You know, not able to ride out of that whitewater there, so that last maneuver not going to be deemed complete, so he'll head back out looking for another 2 waves.
Yeah, right on that cut line. 16 on the new era qualifying series rankings. Here's our first real look at Michel Perez. He had an up and out to start this heat, but that's more like it for the Spartan, the Tahitian, coming through there. And gosh, that first turn was dynamic. Just slammed that oncoming section for the second turn, just couldn't hang on.
Speed wobbles.
Little loose trucks there. Let's check in with Rosie Hodge. She's with last heat winner, Maxime Husno.
Well, Maxime, you know, this is already your best finish in a Hawaiian Pro in 7 years. It's got to feel good to get on a roll here in Hawaii.
Yeah, I think I lost twice to this round, so I'm just definitely happy to make it finally. There's a lot of years I've been feeling good, and years it's just been like out of rhythm. I don't know why. Like Hawaii seems to be so similar to Reunion Island, so it's supposed to suit me like a lot better than what it's been the last few years. So maybe hopefully it's my year, and then I can keep going.
Well, talking about making a climb on the rankings, coming into the event 66, today, finals day, you're 52nd, and you're going to move up even more with a couple more placings, so that's got to feel good to make those leaps on the leaderboard.
Yeah, well, I came here, I put a lot of money to get here, so I'm just trying to make as many runs as I can and get some money back, and then trying to get the biggest win of my career, and then if it gets me enough points to just climb the ranking, I would take it. But for now, all I can do is trying to surf my best and win the contest, and then we'll see after.
And we love the perseverance. I mean, we've had some great stories. William Cardoso qualifying yesterday without a major sponsor, yourself putting in the time and effort. Does it make it even more enjoyable when you make it through those rounds, just knowing that you've put all that hard work and all of that money and sacrifice into it?
Yeah, well, I would say it's a life, like where you put everything into it. Like there's a lot of sacrifice with my family, with my girlfriend, with all my friends. So it definitely makes you care about it. And then really, like I'm a really passionate person about surfing, and I really love it. And so it definitely makes me happy if I make the hits. That's for sure.
Maxime, all the best the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie, and great insight there. Just working through it. It's so important for workman type of ethic there from Maxime Husno. Maxime, you know, much was expected from him. He took a World Junior Championship in 2009, but then he's been on the grind ever since then, and he's literally surfing for prize money right now.
Well, a little psychological picture of what he's trying to put into his mind. You know, the qualification picture is a long shot. You know what? He's looking at it going, you know what? I'm not going to even think that far ahead. One event at a time. You know what? I want to win this event, have it be the biggest win of my career. And that's where he's feeling that he can put his attention at. Getting the prize money to pay back, you know, obviously having to come out of his own family's pocket, his own pocket to get here. So, you know, congratulations on a great event so far. And he's got more to give.
Sure does. Talk about giving. Let's see what Felipe Toledo has to give us. He got a big snap to airdrop there. Another up through the lip. Just surfing. Not having that finish, but surfing really at a different gear from a lot of the competitors that we're seeing.
That, to me, if he didn't have that fall at the end, we could have talked about our first 10. I mean, that literally was that on-edge surfing. That is the type of surfing we want to see from the judges. The judges want to see from the surfers. I want to see that. It was just, again, exciting. It didn't even have the innovation and progression part of it really into it. I mean, but look at the transitions. There's the arc, the carve, the control of the rail. Then there, just so on edge, and then hops right off with complete control. And then just there, the little bobble. But I still feel like this number is going to be pretty good. Probably excellent.
Look at the slow motion, Peter.
Look at this arc. Just driving. See the toes just clawing into the deck of his board. And so amazing. And then the drift, and then that's so on edge, and then the control to know that it's coming down and just hops right off of it.
Powerhouse. Michel Borez hammers the lip and goes complete on that final. So nice response from Michel Borez in the blue jersey, while Felipe Toledo locks in a 9.2. Signs of things to come from Toledo. He's looking in form on finals day.
So Strider had mentioned, you know, can you get a perfect score in conditions like this? Yes, you can. And if you surf it perfectly, and that was all the way almost there.
Right.
At the very end, he had the little fall off. That cost him the 0.8. I mean, seriously, if he had pulled off that last move, I think we probably would have seen some 10s come across that board.
That's how we got to that 9.2. We threw away a 9.2 and an 8.7. Average the other three scores. Came in at an excellent score of a 9.2 as we look at the replay of Michel Borez. He's going to get a good score on this wave too, Peter.
So again, looking at the choice of waves by these CT competitors, they've picked some doozies. They're giving them the opportunity, surfing super solid, no mistakes there. Michel Borez is going to get another turn, and look at this. Again, the front angle of the slow motion. There's that technique. You see that arm driving across. A lot of guys will come across their chest or even their belly, but like if you look at what Michel Borez does, he comes across the head, and so it's it makes him have a little bit different off-kilter kind of maneuver, but that was on edge completely.
Toledo back up in live action, just skating through the water with ease and throwing some dynamic rail turns. Like I said, just a whole different gear, if you will, with Toledo surfing. It just looks like the board stuck to his feet, and he's just actually like levitating at times on the water.
Kind of like you the other night, huh?
I can
full levitation. I mean, you're right. I think that you know, he is bringing a different speed in the transitions. I talk about that, but I mean, it's clear. You can see the zest that he carries in all of his maneuvers, especially when he throws it on rail like this and then gets the drift, still holding a ton of speed. And it is significantly different than any of his competitors, and that's just where he applies that pressure because he's so strong for his size. Check this out. Look at he's looking for an information there of Michel Borez, but he's going to have an umbrella after that.
Oh, just such board control, front and back foot to get drift, but at the same time, keeping everything on edge, on rail. Superb technique by Felipe Toledo. I like what I'm seeing. You know, we say we're going to bring the world's best surfing to life, and that's exactly what we're doing today. Challenging conditions, marginal conditions, if you will, but exciting surfing via Felipe Toledo. And you know what? Michel Borez, he locked in a 7.5 on his last wave too, so he's right in the conversation, making things a little harder for Patrick Gudauskas as well as Stuart Kennedy.
A lot harder. I mean, those are good numbers. You get into the 12-point mark already in the first 10 minutes of a heat, you'd have to say Patrick and Stuart are playing major catch-up right now.
Well, we're going to wish a happy birthday, a hau'oli lahanau, to the other birthday boy. Dane Gudauskas is on the beach with Rosie Hodge.
That's right, sending big birthday wishes to the Gudauskas brothers, and Dane, watching on as your brother is in this heat. I mean, all of these heats have just been so stacked. Paddy's been looking on fire. What is his mental frame before hitting the water?
Yeah, you know, it's the birthday twin vibe, so the feeling's really good today. You know, Pat woke up in a good headspace, got a good practice, and, you know, he's got some great boards under his feet, and he just looks calm and collected, and I know how bad he wants to get back on tour, and so it's a real special moment to have this opportunity. There's waves out there, it's not flat, which is, you know, better than nothing, and hopefully he just sends it hard. You know, he's got some great guys in this heat, and, you know, you got to put up the big numbers to get through, so he's got it inside of him. He's got to get the opportunity, and hopefully he lets loose.
And all three of you guys on the Vans family, notice that you guys are super busy around this time of year, got so many commitments. How's it been for Paddy just making sure that he maintains his energy and really puts his focus into these events?
Yeah, it's super cool that Vans supports the Triple Crown year after year, and the Triple Crown's so special. You know, these events are so fun, and the conditions are so awesome and challenging, and so, you know, we've been here, you know, probably 10 years or more now, so it's super fun. You get used to the rhythm, and Patrick's not overwhelmed with it. I think he's like more like empowered by it. So it's a real cool moment for him, and man, I hope he does it. Let's go, Patty boy!
We are feeling the good mojo, and obviously the Positive Vibe Warriors always doing great work, so we hope that translates into a great result for Patty G. We're rooting for you, bro. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Rosie, and again, happy birthday to Dane. Yeah, we're nearing the halfway mark, and the pressure will be building for Patrick Gudauskas on the lineup. He's currently 16 on that New Era qualifying series rankings, so opportunity here for sure, but it is a lot of math before we get the remaining 6 names off the qualifying series to the championship tour in 2018, Peter.
So again, 5 results count towards your year-end rankings, and with that, he has a pretty high throwaway. So, you know, he's done very good to keep those high points totals across the 5s, but, you know, it makes it that much more challenging at the end of the season to gain points and gain ground on your competitors because he has such a high throwaway. So, you know, in order to really get the points needed, he needs to look at like probably a final, you know, to really start to solidify his spot.
Stu Kennedy, we're watching him in live action. Goes to the air, incomplete. Also an important heat for Stu. He's 33rd on the championship tour. He's 32nd on the qualifying series. He's below the cut line on both tours. He's really going to have to turn it up at the end of the year.
That's true, you know, but we've seen it from Stuart before. When he got onto the championship tour, it was one of those same situations. He had to fight for every point all the way to the very end of the season, and he was able to do it. So I would expect the same from him here. He's not going to give up, and he knows how special his spot is on that championship tour, and whether it's here or if he wins Pipeline to find a way onto that championship tour, he's going to do everything he can to get there. Certainly not going to leave anything on the table.
Yeah, it's go time right now. We're halfway through the heat, 14:45. And it looks like Toledo's going to take a whitewater roll into this wave, or maybe not. He was in 3rd priority, no harm, no foul for Felipe Toledo. You can see the score line, the 2 scoring waves on your screen, as well as in the blue column, your need. We'll be back after a short break with more of the Hawaiian Pro. Stick around. It's finals day here at Haleiwa. We're back at the Hawaiian Pro, and it is finals day. We want to say thank you for our official partner here, Hydro Flask. Stainless steel double wall vacuum sealed construction keeps your hot, hot, and your cold, cold. Hydro Flask.
Wow, that was nice.
Also, we want to thank our official partner in Jeep. Jeep sponsoring the Jeep Leaderboard, as well as all these events at the Vans Triple Crown. Thank you to the Jeep family for their support of surfing here in Hawaii. Felipe Toledo's been putting on a show in the first half of this heat, and he's back up and riding. Looking for a little bubble, gets a little shampoo, glides off the top there, and throws that reverse like we see him do a lot of times to conclude a wave. Don't know if that's going to go into his top 2. He needs to improve upon a low of a 5-point ride.
So he's carrying that 5, trying to improve. That'll add points. Already a big number with a 9.2, one of the best waves we've seen in this event so far. Only seen a few 9s. There really hasn't been a ton of them. Let's take a look at the replay here. Quick little barrel ride, which is the ultimate in surfing. Anytime you can get completely barreled, you would talk about that for days afterwards. That one there, I wouldn't say completely barreled, but if he disappears, look at his mouth wide open as he pulls into that tiny little barrel. But again, he's out there just having a good time, trying to improve on a 5, and it came up a little bit short, it looks like. Actually, we haven't seen the score yet.
This happened during the break, Pete, with Pat Gudauskas.
So utilizing his priority, important way for him to keep himself in contention, not only for his qualification, but in this heat. And a little bit of a hang up there, but he pulls it off, so that's going to factor in.
Looks like he came in at a 4.87 for Pat Gudauskas. Puts him in 3rd. And his need, 7.8. You can see that in the blue column. You can see Stu Kennedy needs 2 waves to total 2.67 if he wants to get into 2nd place and overtake Michel Borez, who's currently in 2nd place and holding first priority.
Well, it feels like that priority really has been a bit of an Achilles heel. You know, you're looking for a certain kind of wave. It's not always going to be there. Whereas if you surf outside of priority, you can kind of just start taking waves and experimenting.
Wave selection, let's touch on that component of heat strategy, Peter.
Well, wave selection obviously is reading the ocean, understanding what waves are going to give you the best opportunity to score the highest points. So you got to have good wave selection, and that's part of the heat strategy. Heat strategy is being able to encompass 2 amazing waves in a 30-minute period. You know, so however you construct that heat strategy, sometimes your coach can help you, sometimes you can just do it on your own.
I like the Hobgood brothers. They had a very simple heat strategy when they were on tour. 8s or lates. They get a pair of 8s, your 16-point heat total. That's going to get you through 90% of the heats in competition. Whether it's the qualifying series or the championship tour.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. But sometimes you got to refine your heat strategy because you're not always going to get 8s, especially when you're looking at conditions, you know, like sometimes you get confronted with.
It's not hurting Felipe Toledo right now. He just went out there and banged off a 9.2.
Well, you know, 8s or lates. He's still got 2 points to catch up to get that 16 points, which is an average of 8s. And I would say, by the way he's surfing, that we'll probably see him get there.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, it's going to be a long day today. It's 4 heats to a win. So maybe it's time for him, knowing that he's in a commanding lead right now, to just back off a little bit.
No way.
You don't like that?
Pedal to the metal. This kid's an Energizer bunny. Do it. Come on.
I like to see the conclusion. I like to see the big bang at the finish.
I mean, he was there almost to a perfect ride. I want to see one now.
Okay, I got you.
I want to see 19.20.
Ooh.
I'm calling him out. You're saying pull the gas off. I want that gas pedal punched.
Well, I wanted to go into overdrive in the final. You know, that's the time to go into overdrive is the final.
Event strategy, right? You got to have event strategy. You got to save energy.
Right.
You got to do things, you know, and that's part of the preparation that has to happen yesterday or even the day before or even months before. Putting that extra training. Make sure that your diet's good when you get here. Make sure you're hydrated so you're not going to get tired.
Yeah. Pat Gudauskas snaps off that white water on the lip, fades the bottom turn, and another hook for Patty G. Comes around, Yet another turn. This wave splits in two. No problem for Pat Gudauskas. Loses the fins on the last maneuver, but 3 quality turns previous to that.
He is not giving up. And he is putting everything into every single turn. I love that because you can read it. You can see how much he wants it. This wave fades off, so he fades with it. Sets up this first maneuver. The little pillow sitting there for him to attack. That was the most zesty turn of this wave. Although that was a good zesty turn too, but the section wasn't really there. And then the fall at the end is going to affect the score, so it's going to be kind of in that mid-range as well. Looking for a 7.8 for a position change. Don't feel like it's going to do that. If he betters the 4.87, which he could, he'll bring that number that he is needed to catch Michel Bourez down.
5.5 drops in for last of Pat Gudauskas. His requirement now, a 7.18. So he did reduce that deficit. He did get a little bit closer to Michel Bourez, who's currently in second place. Bourez sitting out there patiently with priority.
He bettered the backup score.
Yeah.
That was part of it right there. So that makes that next number a little less daunting. Now, the one thing he has against him is that clock. Because every time that seconds tick away, those opportunities get less and less. So you see he's separated himself a little bit from the other competitors, sitting a little inside. You see him in that white jersey. And that's kind of nice because he can pace himself. He kind of drifts into the lineup.
Well, we're crowning a champ today. On the bottom of your screen, you can see the past champions, defending champ John Florence. Wade Carmichael, he's still in competition. He took a big win out here in 2015. An up and out by Stu Kennedy. Dusty Payne, 2014. That was key to his qualification. 2013, Michel Bourez won out here, and he's currently in second in this heat. So a great list of champions down there. 2018.
Well, Michel Bourez, that 2008. That was, I mean, remember the wind turned south. It was blowing offshore. It was just amazing finals day. But that was one of his first big wins, and I think that that's really where we decided as a group, all of us, like, went, you know what, this guy is, could be a world title threat. And sure enough, on the championship tour, he did just that.
I like this. 1997, T. Ray taking out a win here. Kaipo Hakias, one of 2 wins here. Richie Lovett qualified in 1995 by a big win here. The wraparound came in 1994 with Chris Brown. Sonny Garcia was dominant through the early 90s, and Tom Kern on that logoless surfboard. 1991, Stu Kennedy. Beautiful arc to start. Tapered wave. Has to bang that oncoming section in frustration with Kennedy right behind him. Flying down the line, Felipe Toledo, and gets caught up there. And it all started on the bottom of your screen. 1985, back-to-back wins in 85 and 86 for the Wounded Gull, Mark Richards. So we have a great history here at the Hawaiian Pro.
How is it that those big, tall surfers have some sort of bird nicknames? And he wasn't wounded.
No, it was his bottom turn.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't that. It wasn't wounded. I love Mark Richards' style.
Well, it's reminiscent of a condor. No wonder you do. Where are we going with that, Peter?
Let's take a look at the replay here. See what went wrong for Felipe? Well, we won't. But we did see what went wrong for Stuart. Again, those mistakes at the very end of those rides, they cost you. And so Stuart's having a bit of a shocker here. He's in a combo, which means he needs 2 waves, totaling 12.67 to move into that second position, which is the advancing position in this heat.
How's the time, though? 4 minutes, 25 seconds.
So he needs 2 waves in that 4.5 minutes, which is very, very challenging to do.
We're not going to say impossible. We're going to say very hard.
He basically has to do it probably in the next 2 minutes. He'd catch a good ride, most likely in the 5.56 range. That'll help him to get that score drop to the same position where Patrick is.
Let's check out the heat recap.
It started off with a bang. It came with this guy right here in the red jersey. Had the 5.0 to start. Just a beautiful laid-in maneuver on that final turn. And you look at him, he's eyeing up where can he find another pocket of power. Right behind him, Michel Bourez unloads on the lip and finishes strong. That was the 7.5. Somehow was able to, whoops, nope, not that one. That was the 5.17. He actually did another wave there. We got the 7.5, but this was the score. Best of the day, 9.2. So on edge, so controlled. Just a little flub there. Cost him that 0.8. And then this was the 7.5 for Michelle Perez. That has both these surfers in the number 1 and 2 spot, which means they could be advancing on into the quarterfinals. Love the way Felipe has put on an amazing performance here. Just a 4.77 there for that one. Didn't even go into his top 2, but one of the maneuvers of the heat.
So as we talk about the qualification here for the 2018 Championship Tour, we take the top 10 out of the New Era Qualifying Series rankings, but there's such things as a double qualifier. So if you qualify on the Championship Tour as well as the Qualifying Series, that bar gets dropped down. So right now, someone like Kanoe Igarashi, who's currently 2nd on that New Era rankings, if he was to have a great showing at Pipeline, qualified via the CT, he would open up a slot on the QS.
Drops down. Saw it happen last year to a guy, Kanoe Igarashi. He double qualified. Helped out Zeke Lau, got him in. See a little frustration there from Stuart Kennedy as he slaps the water. Such emotion, you know, and he knows how important these last 2 events of the season are.
It's all but done for Stuart Kennedy, unfortunately, because the time's just not going to work out for him. 2 minutes remaining, and he's just going to go be up and out there. Patrick Gudauskas, however, still does have an opportunity. He's in the white jersey. He needs a 7.18, so Gudauskas still in the game with under 2 minutes remaining.
Watch blue and white. So this is where it is right now. Blue is Michel Perez. He has that 2nd position, but he also has priority. And you have right next to him in the white jersey, Pat Gudauskas, who sits in 2nd priority. He needs the score. So this is where these two can kind of cat and mouse, trying to understand. He's asking for time right now. See him pointing to his wrist. That's where he's asking for the time from the beach commentary.
He's going to stick with him like some Thai rice right there, like some sticky rice just on the shoulder of Pat Gudauskas. Velcro-like approach with...
and look at the movements here by Pat Gudauskas. He's trying to...
shake him.
Trying to find a position. He's going to let him go. Here it is.
Here we go. Well, opportunity for Pat Gudauskas. Winds up off the bottom. Snaps off the top there. Comes around the corner. Whitewater climb. Cuts back. Rebound. Inside section, what's he got? Snaps for finish. Is this enough for Pat Gudauskas? 7-1-8. Perez let him go.
He did, and he didn't see enough scoring opportunity in that wave, and so he said, you know what, Pat, go for it. Let's see what you can do. It wasn't a major set wave, so that's going to kind of factor into the score. And now you have Felipe up.
Felipe, he's going to come to the beach. But before that, he's going to do a nice slash in the whitewater, the foam climb, cruisy ride in. Big news is going to be the last score of white, Patrick Gudauskas.
You know, you kind of get a gut feeling on a score.
What's your gut?
I think it's going to come up a little short. You know, it just didn't have enough size and enough energy. But it was close. I feel like it was a close score, but just take a look at it. Again, this is where we get to get the review. This is a little different angle than when we saw it at. You know, nice first turn, good flow, climbs that whitewater, nice carve. You know, it's great surfing. But is it excellent surfing? You know, I just don't think the wave had the scoring opportunity for it.
And it comes in at a 6.17, not enough for Patrick Gudauskas. He is eliminated from competition along with Stu Kennedy. Michel Perez moves on along with Felipe Toledo. We got one more heat for you. Stick around for the conclusion of round 4 here at the Hawaiian Pro. Welcome back to the World Surf League coverage of the Hawaiian Pro, the first jewel of the Vans Triple Crown Surfing. We're in the final heat of round number 4 with Tomas Hermes, Josh Kerr, Leonardo Fioravanti, and Wade Carmichael all in the water. Big qualification stories for every single surfer in this heat, Kaibagura, along with Pete Mel. And this is a juicy one, Pete.
It is, considering that all 4 of these competitors are looking to get back on the championship tour. Matter of fact, one is trying to be a full-time with Tomas Hermes. If he can get through just this heat here, he'll solidify his spot, as well as this guy up and riding, Leo Fioravanti, who has been a stalwart just in the very first rookie year, really, after his broken back, was able to get himself on the championship tour, but now, and then you got Josh Kerr, and a good start to the heat for Leo Fioravanti, and then a throwaway score for Josh Kerr.
Yeah, Josh opened up with a 2.7.17 for white. Leo Fioravanti, that's just how he wants to start a heat. He's currently 33rd on the new era qualifying series rankings. Let's hear from the last heat winner. He blazed through the heat. Felipe Toledo's with Foki.
Yeah, Kaipa, Felipe Toledo, a 9.5, highest wave score of the day, but I get the feeling you're just warming up.
Oh, yeah, you know. It's really tough out there, you know. You don't even know which wave is going to be a really good one, which one's going to be like that holding wall, so you can like really lay some big turns. But the one that I got the 9 was actually a better wave, you know. I was waiting for the wave. It was like kind of broken on the outside, and then I was just waiting for the double up, like kind of under the wave. And yeah, that was like on the right position, so with the perfect speed, and I had like the perfect timing on the wave too. So. Yeah, happy on that one.
And all your boards have looked great throughout the year, but this one looks especially magic today. You said it was your backup board for J-Bay. How did you put it into play today?
Oh yeah, you know, I had this board as a backup in J-Bay, and it's 5'11", and I rode it at Rockies the other day, the last 4 days, and it was working really good. So I saved it for the event, and today I look at the waves. It was a bit cleaner and just a little bit smaller, so I was just like, okay, this is the day that I'm gonna go in the water, and yeah, it worked pretty good. I'm happy on the board, feeling good, solid, and yeah, can't wait for the next one.
How is it different surfing in 4-man heats versus the 2-man heats you're used to surfing on the World Championship Tour?
You know, it's harder, I think, you know, because all the waves that's gonna come through, every wave's gonna be like one guy going for the wave, you know, the other guy's gonna have priority over you, so. Especially in these conditions, you know, it's even harder, but it's fun. It's actually really fun, you know, like, so we can push each other's limits on the water, and I think it's really fun to watch as well.
Well, guys, scary to think what pushing each other's limits could mean with Felipe Toledo in the future rounds. Back up to you guys for live action.
Thank you, Foki, and Felipe Toledo with a little bit of equipment change coming into finals today. During that interview, we got a couple of waves to review. Looked like Wade Carmichael got a 4, and Tomas Hermes opened up with a 5-point ride.
So advantage going to Leo Fioravanti here early stages. In that first 5 minutes, we've been running 30-minute heats.
Tomas Hermes back up, ride number 2 for Tomas. Nice carve. Look for the finish and throws the fins and just unable to pull that thing down. So that goes incomplete and a missed opportunity for Tomas Hermes, who's on the edge of qualification. Just needs to make this heat, Peter.
Well, you know, that's to really, like I said, get above that mark where he becomes kind of untouchable. You know, but at this point, he's right up there. I mean, he's got a total of 17,680 points. As we watch the replay here of that first snap was nice, and you know, but it would have been much better for him. This was the 5, sorry, and that was his first wave. As you see this maneuver here again, you know, he's a smaller guy, but he surfs so much bigger. Such great technique, and again, one of the more polished surfers. He knows how to utilize that flow. This is also another surfer who has great flow. Wade Carmichael, former champion here at this event. But back to Tomas and his 17,680 points. You know, and again, if you were to see him advance on into the quarterfinals, he'll go up to over 19,000 points, and that really kind of is that safe line.
Right. And Tomas would love to join Jesse Mendez, Yago Dora, and William Cardoso as new era rookies on the 2018 Championship Tour.
You know,
we already got 3 rookies coming into 2018.
I mean, in the way the system has been set up, it is nice because last year we had an influx of a lot of rookies. You know, we used to have a combined rankings where we saw the Championship Tour points being utilized as part of the One World rankings, and we went back to the separate actual rankings. In the new era rankings now, just for the QS, and only QS points are being utilized there as the Championship Tour, just Championship Tour points. And we weren't getting enough turnover in new faces on tour. So with the system the way it is now, you start to see, you know, 5, 6, 7 new faces on tour every year.
Love it. Keeps things exciting, keeps new blood on the Championship Tour and new opportunities for surfers coming through that qualifying series. Leo Fioravanti. Good looking wall in front of Leo. Slices into that opening turn, comes off the bottom again, bangs a layback. Again, nice tempo and finishes off that ride. He's going to back up that 7.17
I don't think he's backing
nicely.
it up. That
He's
717, yeah, that 717 is going to be his backup because that was polished. I mean, look at the wave choice here again. This is a very clean wall. It was easy for him to surf, just top to bottom. It wasn't like he had to work too hard, and just so polished. 3 solid maneuvers. That's combination of major movers. He showed some variety there where he had the carves and the snaps. He gave us some commitment and degree of difficulty because he laid in those maneuvers. And of course, that 5th element of the criteria always, that speed, power, and flow. And you know what? That's one of his fortes. Leo Fioravanti has some of the best flow in the business.
Yeah, we can look at the WSL rulebook for the judging criteria just to continue that, but to continue the thought right now in live action, we have Josh Kerr. Opened up with a 2. He needs much better than that. Big section coming up for Kersey. What's he got? He's stalling for the barrel, finds a barrel, comes out. Banks the oncoming section strongly with a layback hack. So
talk about variety.
Nice combination and variety.
I mean, did not expect him to be doing the arm drag into the barrel, but when he does that, he succeeds. It's one of those things you don't see a lot of tube riding going to be happening on a day like today. Just too much going on, but he saw it, read it perfectly. I mean, he got the most he could have gotten out of that barrel as far as time in the barrel and where he positioned himself. He backdoored it, which means he came from behind the peak. See, look at this, the technique there, slowing it, everything he could to slow down. He releases, he's gone from view, comes out clean before the wave just clamps down. He gets out of there, and then this tomahawk to that section. So this would be a good number for Josh Kerr and put him right in contention to advance out of here.
Right you are, Peter Mel. The score drop for last of Leo Fioravanti, the highest single wave of the heat so far, 8.5 for that wave that Leo just ripped apart. And Josh Kerr answered back with a 7.77 as we look to the WSL rulebook, how we get all these numbers and our judging criteria. You know, variety of maneuvers is right in there in the criteria.
Yeah, so you look at the 8.5 from Leo, you know, all those boxes, the commitment, degree of difficulty, got all that live action.
Tomas, nice carve. Comes up on this section, bangs the lip there, gets a little air under his board on the way down for kicking out. Tomas Hermes currently in 3rd place. He's looking for a 4.78 to move into 2nd, and that's by virtue of Josh Kerr only having a 2-point backup.
Let's take a look at this replay, and if we get to the end of it, you'll notice that he actually looks back the opposite direction, looking for more scoring opportunity. This wave shuts down on him, gets this one maneuver, but look, he looks back the other way going, oh, is there any more scoring opportunity that way? You know, he's just looking for anywhere to score points.
Well, we talked about the Tomas Hermes story before. 2016, he came into the Vans Triple Crown, the top 10 of the New Era qualifying rankings, and injured himself just in a free surf before the beginning of the 2016 Hawaiian Pro. Carried that injury through Haleiwa, tried to surf it through Sunset, and it was just a devastating year because he fell out of that top 10 and did not qualify for this year's championship tour. It looked like Tomas was on his way. He doesn't want to do that again. 5.3 last score for Tomas Hermes, and that puts him in 2nd place momentarily. I say momentarily because Josh Kerr is carrying a 2-point ride in his 2-wave scoreline. Looking to 2015 Hawaiian Pro champ, Wade Carmichael. And that wave just goes weird on Wade and is going to be nothing. Josh Kerr wants to get rid of a 2.
He quickly scores that back up, getting rid of that 2-point ride there. Not going to be a big number, but it's going to put him back into the second position. And now you can start surfing, you know, a bit more strategic. You know, he's got his 2 waves. Now he can say, okay, am I going to do a little more priority? Am I going to, you know, see where the positioning of Tomas and Wade is in the lineup? Do I surf with them? You know, you can kind of start strategizing on different ways to keep yourself in that top 2. Looking at Wade Carmichael, you know, his low of the top 5 results that he's carrying is a 1,550, which was a 9th place at the Pull and Bear Pantene Classic in Galicia. You know, and he's going to want to get rid of that. And he's already done that by getting to this point in this event, but it's not over yet because he sits in that 8th position. And in order to get to that kind of 19,000 mark, he wants to make it to the semis, you know, and if he gets to the semis, he's pretty well on his way to his first ever championship tour.
So many stories. Big, big day for all of the world traveling surfers on the qualifying series. Wade Carmichael slices through a whitewater face, and that wave again gets weird under Wade, and he kicks out and searches for more. 16 minutes on the countdown, nearly halfway through this heat, and Leo Fioravanti's on top with just 2 waves being ridden, but those 2 waves have been keepers in his scoreline. You can see the 8.5 and the 717 for Leo. So this has been a great heat for Leo Fioravanti.
When you could start off a heat with 2 waves back-to-back like that, that makes things a lot easier for the last 20 minutes. And right now, you don't want to keep the gap, you know, you don't want to let off. You want to always keep trying to improve. And at this point, you can see he sits outside with that P next to his name. He's on priority. So he's going to sit out the back and he's going to wait for a gem.
We're going to take a break, but we'll be right back with more surfing here from Haleiwa. Stick around. We're back at the Hawaiian Pro. We're the last heat, around number 4, heat number 8, and we'd like to thank our official partner, the Smooth Taste of Michelob Ultra. Also, I'd like to thank another supporting sponsor, Cuervo Tradicional 100% de agave. Thank you for your support here at the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing.
Caipo Guerrero.
I'm joined by Peter Mel, who's able to roll his R's excellently. And here's what happened during the break, Peter.
Wade Carmichael, he's got to come back in this heat. He's got to get a big score because everyone else is carrying a pretty good one. As that smooth style and approach from Wade Carmichael. He's been carrying that beard and hair for a while now. I wonder if he's ever going to lighten up and get a little, you know, just completely change his look.
No, I like it. That's
like his look?
That's his barrier right there. That's what keeps like the bad juju away. The hair, the beard. He can stay. It's like his mask, and he's going into battle right now.
Right. The Native Indians always said you don't want to trim the hair, right? Because it takes your mojo away. Right? They've heard that for years. You know, that's why they used to scalp.
Oh, to take away the.
Exactly.
A little history lesson in Native Americans from Peter Mel. Love it. 5.1, last wave, we saw that replay for Wade Carmichael. He remains in 4th. Now he needs a 6.91 to move into second place. 12 minutes and 35 seconds counting down.
Well, it wasn't the big score needed, but Wade got the 5.10, so he's put himself much closer. Josh Kerr with that little backup score, the 4.23, still in danger. He'd love to get another 7. And he sits out there with third priority, so gonna have to figure it out. You know, and looking at the conditions too, seems like a little more energy. Do you feel that? Or is it kind of the same?
I think there's been a little bit of a, I agree with you, Peter. I think
there's a tide switch? I don't know exactly what it is, but there seems to be a little bit more energy.
Yeah. Seems like we had a little bit of a reinforcement.
Well, and you know, Surfline has said, I mean, we've had this north swell, and you get these winds, and they're blowing out there. Sometimes they blow, you know, a lot harder at times, and all of a sudden you'll get this surge and swell.
Wade Carmichael, nice carve. You can see this double up section heading at him. What's he got for us? Floats through that section. Whitewater climb gets caught up and goes down.
So you look at a guy who sits kind of at the bottom of the ranking but has a really good advantage to jump up the rings very quickly is a guy like Leo Fioravanti, because he's carrying a 550 in his top 5 results as well as a 700. So these next 2 events, he really has the opportunity to gain a lot of points against his competitors. As we watch Wade Carmichael, in contrast, he's trying to better like a much bigger number, right? So in order for Wade to start gaining points on Griffin or Keanu, who are ahead of him, he has a 1550 and he has to carry. So, I mean, even if he gains, what, a 3,700 or a 4,000, you got to minus the 1550 away from it, and that's all the points you're going to be gaining. Whereas in contrast, you know, that 500 points that Leo Fioravanti, you know, every time he makes another round, he's just going to be gaining that much. So he's going to make a much quicker jump.
That'd be good news for the Italian surfer, Leo Fioravanti. Again, he has 2 big scores and first priority. So we talk about heat control. That's what Leo Fioravanti has. He has heat control. He has the lead, and he has a choice, actually, of any good wave that comes through. Leo's going to have the first right of refusal on that one. A little bit more energy coming through the water here, Pete, as we saw with the, you know, with maybe a little bit of pulse in the swell. We also have an incoming tide this afternoon until 3:19 p.m. Only about a half a foot change here, but
you know what? I think
pushes.
You know, if you look at the bathymetry here, specifically at Haleiwa, you've got deep water around you here, so that actually makes the tide have that much more effect on the lineup because of the deep trenches. You get this water moving through. It actually really does start to kind of infiltrate how much energy gets into the lineup. And you see there, you've got a current that pulls over, so that's avalanche, and that north swell kind of folds over into the deep water, and then you have the tide moves out, and when it's moving out or coming in, it actually slows the current down a little bit, right? So if you're going to have that current kind of coming in against the water moving the opposite direction, it's going to slow it down. Yeah. Whereas if you have the tide going the other direction, it's going to actually strengthen the current.
So you follow what Peter Mel is saying. He says on the incoming tide, you're going to have a little bit less current. And on the outgoing tide, you're going to get way more suction. And, you know, we only have a max like 2-foot tide change here in Hawaii, but it's amazing how much it does change the waves.
And depending on the venue, right? Especially to places like Sunset Beach, where you've got all these big, deep channels to your side, you're going to get those current moving over, and it's going to start pulling out of those deeper channels with a lot more energy.
Tomas Hermes snaps it off the top there. Big first turn for Tomas. Can he hold it together? Big explosion. Can he ride in front of the whitewater, paddling, petting the cat, doing everything he can to show the judges his oh my goodness, selling it. Tomas Hermes, 6.71 is the requirement.
He knew how important that was.
Are you going to give it to him, Peter Mel?
You know what? Just the fact that it took so long to figure that out, that affects the flow, so that's going to affect the score. But it's better to complete it than not complete it. So I like what he did there. Again, attacking that first section, free falls to the bottom, right to the bottom turn, top turn, gets to that second section a little bit late. That had him kind of stumble and work very hard. You know, did we see the board come out into the clean water? I would say almost, man. That's I'll give it to him. Doesn't mean the judges will, though.
Like the slow motion vision here.
And again, free falls down straight into this bottom turn, but he gets there late. and he wasn't able to climb it as strong as he would have liked to. And that put him off balance. Pretty amazing that he stayed over his board.
Rosie Hodge is down on the beach with
They're going to give it to him.
My ears are still ringing, guys. I mean, it's so fun to just watch the Brazilian crew backing their surfers. They know the situation for Thomas Hermes as the score's starting to drop in.
Oh, it's a heartbreak, bro.
Oh, wow,
6.5.
guys. I mean, this is the day
Not
Thomas
enough.
has been working towards the whole year. So he's got a bit more work to do out in that lineup. And yeah, the Brazilian guys are backing him 100%.
Thank you, Rosie. He did reduce his requirement, Peter. He now needs a 5.51, Thomas Hermes in the red jersey.
Okay, so we started out the day with how many Brazilians left in the draw?
14.
14. And then what was the next number as far as a country was?
5 Australians.
And that was it. I mean, think about how much of a surge that surfing country is put in. I mean, here in Hawaii, too, Brazilian, 14 left in the draw of the 32. That's almost half.
Yeah. Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, you know, just when you think that, you know, you have a set cast of Brazilian surfers, these new names come into play every year. And every year there's a new surfer out of Brazil that I hear about that I'd never heard about before and impresses me. You know, as of late, I'm going to go with Mateus Herdy as the latest kind of addition that I'm going to put like right in a conversation for that Brazilian storm.
5 of the top 10 before this event started, Brazil. In the top 20, you've got 10, almost 10, half, 9. Yeah, 9 of the top 20 are Brazilian. Again, so it's like there is a definite surge from Brazil. You know, and what is it that separates themselves? What makes them, I think it's, for me, looking at it's the hunger. It actually is, you know, the desire that is there, and it's there. I mean, and that's a prime example. The desire to make and understand how important that wave was and how important that maneuver was. He did everything to pull that off, and they did give him that. You know, I think if that score would have probably been around a 5.5 had he not ridden out of that turn.
Here we go. One more swing at it from Thomas Hermes. Snaps it for the opening turn. Comes around the section again. Another big snap. Blows the fins. Carves it into the finish. Banks it. And Peter Mel thinks he's done it, but he's not done. Gets another snap there. Thomas Hermes on the edge of qualification.
That's his best wave.
Of 5.51's what he needs. We're down to 5 minutes.
That was his best wave. You know, he surfed that thing amazing. So, you know, it's going to be, you know, Josh is going to need a score here. And he's in the same boat. Needs to re-qualify. Take a look at this replay here. First turn's pretty good. This next turn, unreal. Gets the drift, and again, talk about variety. All 3 of those turns are exceptionally different, and he's not finished yet. Look, he's still milking for points. Oh, now that shows determination. That shows how much desire. Take a look at this turn here. That one, you felt like he cut a little short, but he kind of had to keep the speed. But this one unleashes. Tail up over the top, drifts across the lip, and then right into another bottom turn, and then the carve. Great flow on this one, and then watch, just he's not going to give up. He's going to do everything to milk in. This is another half point. Here we go, Josh.
Josh Kerr looking to answer back. Got to get through some bumps here. Snaps it off the top for Kersey. Doubles up on the inside section. Another snap for Josh. Quick move again to combo it up.
Great answer.
Section. Little 360 attempt.
Great answer.
What's he going to need? We're going to tell you in just a bit. 7.83 of last of Thomas Hermes. Let's take a look at Josh Kerr again.
So now he needs a 6.57 here, Kaipo. And this was pretty cool. I mean, that little 2-turn combo, he had to work for it, and he got it. He did have the fall at the end, which, you know, at the end of that, I mean, the meat of that wave had already been surfed.
So we're waiting for that score.
Oh, man, I feel like that is just right there on that cut line, maybe upwards of, you know, good range.
6.57. You know, Thomas Hermes did his work.
And Josh Kerr gave the judges something to chew on, man. This is going to be a close one.
Really close. No indication from the judging panel whatsoever so far. We're under the 3-minute mark, counting down. That means they're looking at replays. That means they're really dissecting that last wave for Josh Kerr. You can see the need, 6.57. If Kersey's going to advance over Thomas Hermes.
And they're both out there just waiting for this score to drop.
And it's going to drop. And you know what? It's not going to drop like it's hot, Pete. It's a 5.33, keeps Josh Kerr in third place. Tomas Hermes is going to hear some wonderful news, but it's not over. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
Gotta love the desire. Again, those two waves that Tomas picked up back to back put him into that second position, and that was pure desire, pure adrenaline.
All year for this heat right here. This is the clutch for Tomas Hermes. And it's a long, long year.
58 events on the qualifying series. All of them ranked with different rankings in importance. You have 5 QS 10,000s, you have 5 QS 6,000s. That's where they amass the most amount of points.
Just up and out for Tomas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is his 9th event so far this year, globe trotting.
Well, and Tomas has had to, you know, he doesn't have a major sponsor. Well, actually, I take that back. It's Vans.
He's got a major sponsor in Vans and part of the Vans team, and we could see a Vans team rider onto the championship tour. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, though, because Josh Kerr can still do it with a 6.57. Wade Carmichael can burn the barn down for 9.16 and still bump Tomas out. We're down to 1 minute remaining.
Well, Josh sitting in third priority, which means that he has to give way to both green and white if a quality wave were to come.
Wade just kind of forced to take this wave. He's got a giant number. And unfortunately, that wave does not have that number written on it.
He wanted to show some emotion. He contained himself, but underwater, there was probably a scream and a punch. I mean, this would be very frustrating for him. He sits literally on the cut line, and he'll have to go to Sunset Beach.
Hitting the beach here. And the countdown, we're down to 10 seconds. And you know what, Peter? The countdown's happening right now, and I want to welcome another new era rookie to the 2018 Championship Tour, Tomas Hermes. Welcome to the Championship Tour. Well done. And yet another Brazilian is going to be on the cast, Tomas, with his wife. We'll be back with the quarterfinals. It's going to start up right away. With that, we're going to bring in Strider Wazalewski as well as Chris Pote.
Welcome back, surf fans. We've made it to the quarterfinals here. The Hawaiian Pro QS 10,000 action live from Haleiwa, right here on the north shore of Oahu. Chris Cote here, Strider Wasilewski. An incredible day in the books. We've got yet another championship tour, new era rookie in Tomas Hermes. And get this, we could see another one in this heat. Griffin Colapinto is one heat away from potential qualification, Strider.
Definitely very close to a potential berth onto the World Championship Tour. Griffin Colapinto, the young madman himself, just psyching right off the bat, right here. The man in red, high seed, blasting tail, pushing water. Another beautiful turn right there. Great start right there for Adriano de Souza coming out of the gates, finishing strong with an 8.33. He's been under the weather for 5 days, he says, but look at this. He's under the weather all right. The weather making it rain. Kind of playing with turns like that. Look at all that water flying out the back. Great surfing right there.
Well, right behind him, Griffin Colapinto, a huge number at 9.77.
Huge lip line float straight up into the, wow. Blow tail, fins out, nose picks down, and just comes out of it with a reverse. Look at this. That was just straight up amazing.
Stunning.
That was next level surfing right there.
Well, I was just about to say, Adriano de Souza has put Griffin Colapinto on notice. You want to make the big leagues, you're going to have to go against guys like me. Griffin just answers right back and betters that score.
Basically saying, guess what? The game has changed, my friend, and this is the type of surfing that you will have to be doing next year on tour if you want to beat me.
Well, you hear cheers going up. Yes, people are celebrating that 9.77, but more likely we've got the Brazilian squad on the beach going Richter, because yet another Brazilian surfer has made the championship tour for 2018, Tomas Hermes, new era rookie. But let's talk about this heat at hand, all right? This is another stacked super heat. Adriano de Souza, Griffin Colapinto, Miguel Pupo, and Connor O'Leary.
Here comes Connor.
Capable of taking a win in this event, as well as the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing win. Connor O'Leary, lethal backhand. Not really coming through. When surfers are dropping high 8s and 9.7s, you know you're going to have to do something special to keep the pace. Do not let Adriano and Griffin run away with this heat. You've got to stay in line with what they're doing. That means dropping a huge score to start. It's not going to be easy.
Quarterfinals. This is a huge event right now for Miguel Pupo. This man needs a massive finish. He needs to bring it home. This is his chance to be into a qualification zone for the World Tour next year.
You know, an exciting news coming out of the championship tour. New stops.
How exciting is the new tour? Karamas, are you kidding me? Indonesia on the plan. It is going to be so... That wave is the most rippable wave on the planet.
And then you got one of the best waves on the planet, man-made. Surf Ranch, Lemoore, California.
That's also exciting. I mean, I was there for the event that they did with the, you know, kind of a test event. And the buzz around the competitors, and everybody was psyching so hard, and the nerves that were going down. When you know you're going to get a perfect wave and you know you have to perform to a certain level, there's a lot of nerve involved.
Well, seemingly feeling no nerves right now is Griffin Colapinto, who is confidence-wise well beyond his years. You see bashing a third turn, goes down, but not after two big snaps to start that wave.
That was tough. If you would have made that last turn, I would have said, okay, that man is into qualification for next year's World Tour, no doubt. Look at this wave. He drops in, nice and clean, sets the feet in the wax. Quick little snap out on the face there to set it up, and then this turn right here, straight up into the corner. Wham! Drops the wallet, kicks the tail out, controls. Got a little ahead of himself right there and went over the handlebars. So he's going to get an okay score, but he's got work to do still.
I mean, there are so many emotions going on. I've been right there. I've been on the beach at the Vans World Cup with Connor Coffin's parents going, what's going on? Is he on? Did he make it? And I don't know. And people are crying, cheering. And it's just the greatest show in surf. This qualification, you know, this portion of the end of the tour is so fun to be a part of. And Connor O'Leary, he's been there. He's been in that battle towards qualification, and he's faced those unsurmountable goals and just blasted his way out of the championship tour. He's made full use of it. 22-13 to go. These quarterfinal matchups are going to go by fast. A lot of action coming your way. 42 excellent scores. And I think the highest single wave score of this entire event thrown down in the first 2 minutes of this heat. Griffin Colapinto's 9.77.
Miguel Pupo, if he wins this event, ending up at 17.79, pretty much putting himself back on tour. But without a win, he's still going to have work to do over at Sunset. It's going to be
21:42 to go. Let's go to the beach. Ian Folke is with Leonardo Fioravanti.
I'm here with heat winner Leonardo Fioravanti. Leo, obviously a lot going on that heat with Tomas trying to qualify, but you're focused on your own goals right now.
Yeah, I mean, I know that him and Wade, I could feel the vibe out there. Like they're both, you know, they wanted so bad. And for me, I'm just, you know, trying to get a result. And I mean, if I ever want to get a chance of qualifying, I got to make the final at least. So I'm just trying to surf smart heats, surf solid, and you know, it's really fun out there, so showcase some good surfing.
And how are you leaving a little bit of energy in the tank for the rest of the day? Is it food, is it rest, is it water? What are you working on with Snake?
Well, in that heat, I got my scores in literally the first 5 minutes, so I caught one wave the rest of the heat. I was kind of cruising out there. I had an 8 and a 7, and it's usually pretty solid to make a heat. I was just waiting out there to make sure that no bomb came through, and also trying to save up some energy just in case, you know, I make keep on making heats. And I mean, we're just gonna drink some water, have a banana, maybe some nuts, and get back out there.
Thank you, Leo. Stay fueled up and focused. Pace yourself. You got a big day ahead of you for finals day here at the Haleiwa Hawaiian Pro. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ian. That's wild to think. If Leo makes it all the way to finals, he's gonna have to surf 3 more times. Might not seem like a lot, you know, hour and a half, but I tell you, 30 minutes out here at Haleiwa today will take a lot out of you. Scores coming through for Griffin Colapinto. He has just sent shockwaves through the field. A 6.33 to back up that 9.77, way into the lead.
heat point total 16.1. That's going to get it done. And let me just kind of rewind what we were talking about as we watch a replay of this man, Adriano de Souza, under the weather, but still putting it up into the lip with drama. 6.03 for that wave, puts him into second with a 14-point total. Here's a replay from Colapinto's wave. He just kind of wrapped it around, didn't see what he wanted, so he kicks out.
I like that Griffin's.
I'd say Colapinto is going to make it through this heat. And he is thus going to be on the World Championship Tour next year. And we're going to see fireworks from that young man.
I might get emotional, Strider. This is a big day for these guys. This is a lifelong dream accomplished right in front of our eyes.
For all these guys who are qualifying for the World Tour, it's the dream. You know, for young surfers like this, you know, for him to make it onto tour at this age, we're going to see him settle in. And the way he's surfing, you could literally watch this guy be in the top 10 with that kind of surf. I mean, those kind of moves, the stuff that he pulls out, the power surfing he's doing, if he doesn't let the glitz and the glamour, the big lights of the main stage, if he could just stay in his zone on the main stage,
I don't think we have to worry about that with Griffin. He seems like he's ready, in full focus. He's not a party guy. He's just 100% psyching surf guy.
I mean, yeah, but look at Leo Fioravanti. Got the call up as a wild card, was crushing guys' dreams, taking down Kelly Slater, making it through, you know, to the pointy end of events on the World Tour. Then he got on tour full time, and he's not requalifying. So
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not
and
easy.
when you get there, the pressures, the difference in the pressure of actually having a full-time position there and having to perform, it's a whole nother world.
Ask Ethan Ewing about that.
Hey,
Ethan Ewing dominating the QS, got the call up to the championship tour, got smashed.
Colapinto got second in the World Junior titles last year to Ethan Ewing. I feel like there is a difference in both of them, you know, and I feel like Colapinto will do better than Ethan will in his first year, just because of the sheer determination, the power, and the explosiveness of his surfing. He's not as composed and smooth as Ethan Ewing, but he's got more explosive surfing.
More flash.
Yeah.
Think of all, well, I mean, you look at it right now, the window is closing. There are only 5 spots left these guys are surfing towards on the QS Tour. So five surfers are going to make it in. 16 minutes, 55 seconds to go. Griffin Colapinto well into the lead. Looking like a CT surfer already. Well, it's the moment we've been waiting for a long time, since last year. Coming in so close, had to bow out due to injury, fought his way back into it. An amazing story. Tomas Hermes, confirmed 2018 Championship Tour rookie. The New Era rookie is on the beach right now with Ian Fulke.
Chris Cote, the moment we've been waiting for, the moment Tomas has been waiting for. A New Era rookie, another edition of the 2018 World Championship Tour. Is this the biggest moment of your surfing career, Tomas?
Yeah, for sure. It's like a job done, you know. And especially this year, it's such a special year for me. I didn't compete in the first KS of the year because last year I injured my foot right here. Like I remember, like 1 week before the contest sunset start, and I'm 11 in the ranking in that moment, and my mind changed, my body changed, like everything changed after this. It's like a bad but special moment for my life, for like I grown up and to be here. Like I don't know, it's not a dream, but I think I live a dream every day. Like I surf, living for surf is like a dream. It's not a dream to be qualified. It's like a job, you know. It's like yeah, I do this, you know, something like that. But yeah, I just want to say like a lot of thanks for so many people, for my family, for the events. I believe in me, not for the contest. I believe in me and myself, in my creator, in my lines, and I think it's special to my wife, and she with me like a lot of time, every single time, in bad and good, and she don't care about anything. Wake up early with me, like it's like a wife, best friend, coach, and she's filmmaking so good, and especially for her for sure. It's like I be here.
Well, we're feeling the love too, Tomas. Congratulations, 2018 World Championship Tour New Era rookie. You've done it. Now we'll let you get some water and some food and focus up for the rest of the event, because you still got work to do. You guys, back to you to enjoy the rest of this heat.
Parabéns to Tomas Hermes. Said it before, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He is a humble, incredible surfer. And he's done it, you know. And I love his comment right there. Yeah, it is a dream to make the championship tour, but it's a job. His dream is what he gets to do every day: surf for a living. And that was a special moment. You could tell, you know, you could see all the things going on in his mind, thinking his wife. Special moment for Tomas Hermes. You know, trying to gather some of that fire from his fellow Brazilians. Miguel Pupo, unfortunately, just another dud of a wave. This has quietly become a battle for second place.
Miguel sitting at number 23 on the World Championship Tour, so he's got work to do there. Well, actually 22nd, because Bede is actually retiring. So he'll be able to take that spot, get into a closer qualification zone. Top 20 on the World Tour qualifying. On screen right there, Kieran Jabor, one of the local surfers still in the event, going for the dream run.
Oh, he's got to be so pumped up. Finding himself in the quarterfinals of a QS 10,000 right here on his home turf.
Should we get into the conversation here about this heat, though? Connor O'Leary, Miguel Pupo in a combination situation with 12 minutes left on the clock. That is a feat. That is something that's hard to climb out of. And a combination situation is not what you want to be in.
So it's basically, they just need to restart this heat. They need
combo.
to get 2 scores to even get back into it.
Oof. That's harsh. Miguel Pupo needs this. And so Connor O'Leary would love to keep marching through this event. But he's got a couple of guys sitting on some huge scores out in front of him. Can be done. Here we go.
Miguel Pupo in 4th priority, finds a little corner on the inside. Goes to a quick snap. That's a better 2nd turn. Nice 3rd turn. Finishes it up. Backside, little tail whip reverse. I like that he kind of increased in his aggression as he went down. Didn't put too much into the 1st turn. Allowed him to really wind up through the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th turn.
I'd say that would climb out of combination situation for him. So he's going to put up one of those scores. That's going to help him get out of the combo. This wave right here. The 1st turn, a little late, a little sticky, but the 2nd one was on point. 3rd turn on point. Then comes to the insides and whips it around for a little quick reverse. A little flat, but still a little flare. So he's going to give the judges something to think about. He's going to put a score on the board that he can get to the combination of 14 points.
So the score drops a 6-2-3. So Miguel officially now out of the combo spot. Still needs a big score. More surfing to come. Can Griffin Colapinto hold on to this lead? Stay tuned to find out. You're watching the Hawaiian Pro. Drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time ever, the Championship Tour 2018 schedule starting the Gold Coast of Australia, the Quicksilver Pro, followed by the Rip Curl Pro, Bells Beach, Margaret River Pro, Rio Pro, and Strider, the Bali Pro.
That's right.
New event.
Karamas. That wave, absolutely one of the most rippable waves in the world. Barrel to just flare section. Anything you want, air, carve, just whip it. Just there's so many different things you can do in there. Just tail flying all over the joint.
Well, I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about that 2018 Championship Tour. A lot of excitement to come next year, but I tell you, we're not there yet. We've got the Billabong Pipe Masters at Pipeline in about 2 weeks, and we still have finals action here at the Hawaiian Pro. Connor O'Leary up, out, down. 8 minutes, 45 seconds to go. And I think he knows full well if you're going to catch Griffin Colapinto, you've got to get beyond the realm of expectation on each and every wave. Here in quarterfinal 1. Coming up next, John Florence, Kolohe Andino, Wiggly Dantas, Kieran Jabor. Another stunner heat. John in red, Kolohe Andino in blue, Wiggly Dantas in white, Kieran Jabor will be in green. There's Kolohe getting ready, getting fired up. Miguel Pupo now. Little free fall floater goes down. Unforced error for this young server from Brazil fighting to get back on the Championship Tour. He got some work to do to requalify, doesn't he?
He sure does, but he can do it at Pipeline too, though. So he's still got Pipeline. If he wins this event, he'll be in the qualification zone through the WQS. On the CT side, He's sitting at 23rd. He's actually bumped up to 22nd because B. Durbridge is going to bow out, and he's going to take a role as the Australian Surfing Federation and their coach for the years to come.
The Ninja from right up the street. John Florence will be coming up next.
And there's the shaper, John Pizell, behind him. Looks like he's got some grub.
With 7 minutes, 18 seconds to go. Again, a lot of excitement today as the WSL released, opened the floodgates, the championship tour for 2018.
Surf Ranch, Lemoore, California.
Wow.
Look at the waiting period.
We're living in the future.
Well,
this is the future, Strider.
We are living in a very amazing time in surfing, that's for sure.
Of course, Connor O'Leary going for the rodeo. So we will be going back to J-Bay.
Oh,
Tahiti
yeah.
Pro Chopo. Surf Ranch Lemoore. And there you have it. Okay, let's get back. Okay, Surf Ranch Lemoore. This is...
Look at the waiting period.
September 5th. Oh, you don't need a lot of time.
There's only 4 days in that waiting period, my friend. Because you know it's going to be perfect. And that is a fun fact right there, right?
How fun is that going to be?
Oh.
October 3rd to the 14th, Quicksilver Pro France, the Mio Rip Curl Pro Portugal, and then of course it all comes down to the Billabong Pipe Masters. So screenshot this, mark your calendars. Surf fans, you're going to be busy from March to December. Oh man, I'm pumped.
New schedule is
I got chills
out.
thinking about that schedule. Psyching.
Book your tickets, get your schedule ready, find your vacation points, know where to be, when to be there. And for us,
the WSL app will give you those dates right now as well.
That's right.
5 minutes, 45 seconds. Griffin Colapinto in the lead, Adriana De Souza in second.
With the new tour schedule, for the women, we get to see the women show up to J-Bay, my friend.
Oh,
they
awesome.
Are going to be on those long, beautiful walls of Jeffreys Bay.
Oh, Steph Gilmore on a perfect J-Bay right-hander. Forget about it.
There's going to be some amazing surfing. And guess who gets to enjoy that? The youngest ever to qualify on the women's tour, on the tour. 15-year-old Carolyn Marks is going to be going on her backhand at J-Bay. I mean, that is just going to be the funnest thing ever to watch.
And of course, we will be crowning a world champion within the next 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
2 to 3 weeks. Will it be John Florence? Will it be Gabriel Medina? Will it be Jordy Smith? Will it be Julian Wilson? We got a 4-surfer battle. Big stakes. High stakes. And you can follow that battle. You can follow the race at WSLTitleRace.com for the first time ever. This site dedicated 100% to the title race, men's and women's. On the women's side of things, it's tied 5 surfers still in the conversation. Connor O'Leary, been a little bit lost, but he's found now 2 big snaps. Almost goes down to his second turn with a vertical hook for Connor O'Leary. There he's surfing with maybe a little over-aggression, trying to squeeze a little too much out of that wave. Damage done in the first 2 turns. Will it be enough to get him out of the combo situation he currently finds himself in? Hey Strider, I've got an early Christmas gift for you in the form of a recap of this incredible performance so far by Adriana De Souza and Griffin Colapinto.
Adriana came out of the gates and started throwing water, making it rain out at the end of playing a point. Big open face hacks and then finishes on the inside. A quick little snap. Got an 8.33 for that wave, but then Griffin, new school, came at you. And I'm talking coming at you with a huge frontside blowtail, nose pick rotation, rides out of that thing, so clean, cleans it up here with a nice little 6.33. That turn right there, the meat and potatoes of that wave, gets it done, goes over the handlebars on the inside.
No harm, no foul with that last fall. Still like 6.33. Griffin Colapinto foreshadowing his potential rise to the occasion, getting himself onto that championship tour. He's got 2 minutes, 50 seconds to think about it. He does have priority, so everything is going in Griffin's favor right now. And he is paddling, he's up. Griffin Colapinto uses his priority, sweeping carve to start it off. Deep bottom turn. The wave looked good. He surfed it good, but I don't think it's going to be on his scoreline. He would need to improve on a 6.33.
I know it's
surfing, but just nothing.
An interesting note about the waves today, the conditions, how the surfers have to ride them. I ran into somebody, and they said, you know, it's interesting watching these guys have to surf these types of waves, because these are really kind of messy conditions where you can't really formulate a wave. You have to really ride the wave as to what it offers you, right? You get what you get and you don't get upset. You have to just attack what's coming at you. And on a more perfect wave, you can kind of try and come up with different ways to attack it. But out here, you have to take the section for each section as it comes at you.
Miguel Pupo finding a left, goes to the air, gets the grab, lands it, reverts around, looking for a 8.14. Connor O'Leary's last score comes through, a 6.70. So Connor potentially back in this thing with 1:25 seconds to go. And I believe these guys are fighting for second place as Griffin with that huge lead. Adriano got a solid lead, but still precarious with 1:10 seconds to go. This will be the longest minute in Griffin Colapinto's life. This is the difference between him slugging it out on another
I don't think he's too worried about it.
Yeah, I mean,
sitting on 16.10 total.
Until the buzzer goes,
this thing's in the fridge, my friend.
Here we go, Connor O'Leary, up, down, out. And here goes Griffin out the back, looking left, stalls it, looking for the ramp, trying to contain himself. I like that he gets right back out there, back to business. 30 seconds to go. Oh, he's got to be just feeling the adrenaline right now. 20 seconds. We could be introducing yet another new era rookie.
You know what's really interesting is that he's going to fill another spot. They're squeezing down. There's not a lot of spots left.
In 5 seconds, 6 spots will be filled.
So there's only 4 more that can get filled.
There you see the reaction from Griffin Colapinto, your newest new era rookie for the 2018 Championship Tour. Another lifelong dream fulfilled. And I'm telling you, watch out, World Tour. Griffin Colapinto's coming for you. It's confirmed. And I'm sure we're going to get the reaction when we come back. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. More action from the Hawaiian Pro.